Buddy, it's Fire Emblem time. Diet. So it's just gonna be Reggie and I today. No Jose, no explodes. It's gonna be just us, continuing off where we left off from last time because that day something happened to the internet, and we had to go ahead and cut things short. So I believe we're still in the part with the booby lady who has all the giant tanks or giant mecha guys, all blocking the way. So today we just have Reggie, myself. We'll try to keep things going. Speaking of something in terms of like a topic, because I'm still playing the game right now. You you heard
Yes,
that?
the loading screen is very much playing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard that I was getting. I got myself pretty much in the rabbit hole of Street Fighter Five content. Um,
Yeah.
so I've started looking into channels that have stuff like that going in. Mm, I've actually started to marathon videos of Maximilian Dude. Uh,
Nice.
I just been going through all his ranking the supers and all that stuff just to see what he thinks of them. I will say I really love how his ranking system is so weird.
Yeah.
I've gotten so familiar with what he expects with each video that I tend to be sometimes maybe like 1 point off on
Yeah,
guessing.
that's basically how I am too.
Like if I see his reactions, like that's okay. So that could mean anything. Okay to him could either be a 5 to a 7.
Yeah.
You
Like
literally,
part of it is also just like the visual presentation or potential like, impact that it presents.
yeah, because I
Otherwise if it's just something like a beam, but like there's like nothing there,
yeah,
it's like whatever.
it's either
Or if
like
it's a utility super, like, oh, this is esports the super, okay.
I
yeah,
do this
Two.
for all of us.
it's a one, it's a one. It's like yeah,
Oh, that
yes.
two for two punches.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember that type of adventure from him as well.
Yeah, his buddies on video games are basically the same too, for the
Oh,
most part.
that's cool. Yeah, I'm actually
I was
thoroughly enjoying.
recently rewatching their Mortal Kombat rate the finishers.
Oh, magic class can only go here. Okay. What was it? Oh, cool. I could attack this guy from here. Yeah. So I started going through the rabbit hole there. I just realized, and I know you're gonna say, well, don't you know? But like, bear in mind, understand my ignorance here. When it comes down to Street Fighter, I knew Street Fighter from like a surface level, and like
Get on
Ryu,
with it.
huh?
Let's get on with it.
Well, I want to bring this up because I know you're gonna say something and try to point out the exact obvious. So I'm just prepping myself, all right? So, um, I just know Street Fighter from like a surface level. So when I start seeing more and more like the characters in the game, I realize, man, these characters are majority of these characters are like dressed super skimpy, like more so than I'm used to when it comes to anything anime related. And I was like, has it always been that way? Like,
mm,
and
yes and no.
I look at Cammy and I'm like, damn, Cammy, that's almost nothing at all.
Yeah, Cammy always been that way. Some of the other characters, not so much. Uh, Kirby, kind of, but she was introduced in four.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Yuri's more of a newer character. I get that.
Yeah,
But like,
she's also evil and supposed to be like a pen pal. Poison is from Final Fight originally,
uh,
alongside Hugo and Abel, and or Abigail, I mean, and and her thing is that she was like this dominatrix type character, but it's like on Final Fight, it's like, oh yeah, this is the mid boss of like every level, you
uh,
know,
okay.
the elite mook, so to speak. But the funniest thing about Poison though uh, is that Capcom decided to officially say she's trans.
Oh yeah, we talked about that with Jose back at Denny's way back. Like they confirmed the gender was like
Yeah.
had an operation or something.
So so originally it was a translation thing. It was a localization thing. Right? It was like, oh, we can't say that these guys are beating up these women. That's sexist. People might get the wrong idea. That's not a chick. That's just a dude who looks like a chick.
Dude looks like a lady.
Pretty much. And Capcom looked at that and like, you know what? That's actually kind of entertaining. We'll run with that. So I was like, oh wow, hilarious.
Yeah, that I'm aware of. It's just funny thinking about that. So that's canon now, right? That's like their official canon on that.
Pretty much. It's technically canon. I'd rather say not unofficially, nor is it official. I think it's more like a dude who worked for them decided to say that, and then the company itself decided to be like, yeah, we don't really care.
Oh, okay. So it's more of an inside joke bit.
Kind of.
Like
It's never mentioned in any media.
So you're not gonna hear the characters like outwardly say, "Oh yeah, this character is trans or whatever."
No,
okay.
no. And she still identifies as a she.
Okay. Interesting Super. I've got to say that much. I've watched enough of the Super compilations, not for Maximilian Dude, but just like in general, to kind of have a feel for these type of characters and what they do in their supers. I love to see that. I love knowing that Street Fighter 5 and 4 are not immune to having the base roster looking really bad in comparison to how flashy the extra characters were in terms of super attacks.
Yep.
That's just such a shame. That is such a shame. At one point they just need to make Ryu's Hadouken look as fantastic as the Marvel vs. Capcom iterations, because a lot of his
I think Ryu's is fine looking the way it is in most games.
But they really need to like pretty up how it looks, like presentation wise. The Hadouken, like the giant Hadouken.
It's a big concentration of energy.
Yeah, but comparing it to everybody else's level 3s and all that, it just seems so boring, you know?
Well, most of everybody else, it doesn't shoot fireballs, surprisingly.
You know what they should do is just have like a triple shot Hadouken. Like it's a combo starter with the basic Hadouken, and it has like a cutscene that cuts to him doing a couple of like combo type things, and then shoots one Hadouken, and then hits with a very powerful one. Using
that sounds like something that Ken would do.
Well, but it's more Hadouken focused, not like
right. But you're talking about something that sounds mildly out of character.
I mean, I think it could work. I mean, you got the what was it, the Shoryuken, like that looks cool from like a level 3 standpoint, depending on the camera angle.
Yeah. But keep in mind, Ryu is dedicated for and mostly to the point. He's a straight arrow.
Yeah.
So he doesn't do flash or fluff.
I mean,
you want flash or fluff from Ryu? You want evil Ryu or like Kage or whatever the fuck iteration of evil Ryu there is in the game.
Or Akuma.
Yeah. That too, but I mean like actually evil Ryu from like CVS and like all the other stuff and like Street Fighter 4 or Kage and Street Fighter 5. Like all of those guys. If you want flashy Ryu, you pick one of those. Because that's Ryu going crazy from the darkness within him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you pick Ryu, you're picking basic bitch karate, man. I know 3 things extremely well, and I will do those 3 things basically by the number. That's Ryu.
Okay, well, either way,
he should shoot Hadoukens like they're freaking handguns from Devil May Cry, and then fucking go into a Shoryuken and then finish with a Shinku. Like this isn't it's not Marvel vs. Capcom. He only has those in Marvel vs. Capcom because it's Marvel vs. Capcom. Everything is a fucking beam in that.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but Street Fighter's not Marvel vs. Capcom. That's the thing. You're asking for Marvel vs. Capcom in Street Fighter rather than asking for Street Fighter to be something more impressive for itself by using the most basic bitch in the roster.
I mean, I can only hope, you know.
Like if that's how you feel, just play Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, but then y'all won't be able to beat the crap out of somebody, I don't know, like Poison with with Ryu, because they wouldn't obviously add her there. Let's see. I'll just have her here.
Why not? She serves a different function than everybody else, doesn't she?
For Poison. But yeah, I get your point. I get your point on that. But my main thing is just in terms of flashiness. Like it's time for at least Ryu to get some type of, I don't know, like cool addition to his super. They did a lot of alterations and changes for the other guys. I've noticed. Like Ken always gets something different. I've noticed.
Yeah, but that's Ken. Ken is very much about being flashy and showing off.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been Ken's character. He's hot headed and itching to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good at it. So he likes to show off how much better he is at it by just styling on you. So like you suggesting the thing for Rio, and I said that sounds more like something Ken would do. And it's like you're like, oh, but it's a Hadouken though. Like that doesn't matter. Well, if it's being flashy, that's Ken. I don't care if you're saying, oh, but it's Hadouken based, not Shoryuken or Tatsumaki Senpu Kyaku based. It's no. The flashy Shoto is Ken.
Well, the thing is, I don't like Ken compared to Ryo. That's my personal.
Oh, I feel bad.
I'm just saying, Ryu deserves better. Well,
I think Ryu's fine exactly how he is. He's the benchmark middle ground of the game. If you can play him, then you have your fundamentals of the game.
Well, these guys are swarming in.
He is about fundamentals, and I will say yes, he is more about function than anything else. As opposed to everybody else, which shows their character off, outlandishly, because that's what they are. They're all outlandish characters.
Yep.
Whereas Ryu is just he's Karate Man.
I don't know.
That's it.
Maybe it's the Dragon Ball Z in me, but I really like
Probably
really like a Ryu's design. It's basic, but it also looks very powerful.
Karate Man.
Yeah.
I wonder how many Street Fighter fans I'll piss off in your chat by just calling you Karate Man.
I mean, I honestly don't care. I don't care. I don't have that much. I don't have like an emotional attachment to Ryu.
Yeah, but I'm saying I wonder how many people in your chat are gonna get pissed at me saying that.
Let's see.
But no, like Ryu is the basic bitch of the game.
Well,
you do not expect better from Ryu. You expect average. As far as presentation goes. Like, he shows off his character extremely well. A lot of the characters show off their characters extremely well, just in gameplay.
Yeah.
Maybe not in costumes all the time, but in gameplay, for sure. They demonstrate their character pretty strongly.
One thing I also got to point out is that, I want to ask. This is pretty much me the Street Fighter thing, but I've been holding on to this conversation for quite a bit. Street Fighter story, it's stupid, right? That's just not me. The story for Street Fighter is very stupid.
I know.
Okay. I just want to be very clear on that. All right. Because even I could tell a little bit when watching stuff like that. I was like, yeah, the story seems kind of dumb.
The overall plot in like the franchise isn't bad. It's mainly just the best about it, like the deepest it can go, is when you look at just individual character relations, like how like Bison killed Chun Li's father or some shit, and like Chun Li is an Interpol officer. Bison killed Guile's partner, and then like Bison is hosting these tournaments to find a strong fighter to possess.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah. And like so that's like the whole fixation on why Ryu is even involved in most of these in like any of those plots is because he showed up to fight in the tournament because he fights he's the world warrior who travels around just honing his skill.
I'm here to test
not for fame, but just to become better. Right.
I'm here to test my strength to make sure I am the strongest I can possibly be. Yeah.
Yeah. And like so in most cases that involves Ryu in like the major plot of like Shadowloo and Bison, it's like Bison is interested in the Hado, right? And wants to harness it because it's similar to his psycho powers, but not really.
Psycho power.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Street Fighter, like I looked into Street Fighter and I was like, man, I really wanted to like immerse myself and have something new to kind of like look into.
There isn't really much to latch onto. There's a central bad guy in the story, yeah. But at the same time, like no one really cares.
Yeah, it's more of an Evo game now, right?
I mean, it kind of always has been, in all honesty. Like, yes, there's story in there, and yeah, like if you just look at it in a vacuum, like just on paper, all the characters, or rather, most of the character dynamics, like the ones that are like actually important, right?
Yeah,
are actually pretty good. Yeah. I mentioned Chun Li, right?
Yeah.
Guile. And like everybody else that's connected to them and the Shadowloo plot, actually pretty good. They actually do stuff. They have their motivations make sense, and their actions are fairly consistent. Depends on depending on the writer in that case, right? But sometimes characters be a bit weirder because just a little bit of levity is all, but also the fact that like Street Fighter does not try and take itself too seriously.
Well, like part of the appeal, I think, that you're not taking these things way too darn serious.
Yeah, and then like Cammy and her whole relation to Bison and the other dolls of Shadowloo. We're like Cammy and then we're supposed to be like substitute vessels for Bison and his power.
Yeah. Isn't that what Rose is? Isn't Rose like a perfected female version of
No, Rose is kind of like a clone of Bison himself.
Okay.
Not actually. Where do I have an example I can give you that you already know about? Oh, okay. Actually, yeah, I think I do have an example. So, are you familiar with the general story of Final Fantasy VII?
No, 7. So wait, 6 or 7? Did you say 6? Or
7.
7?
Yeah.
Yes.
The one with Sephiroth.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So you know how like Cloud is considered a clone of Sephiroth, despite the fact that he's not actually a clone of him?
Yes.
Yeah, Rose is basically like that.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. No. Rose is like kind of like a reincarnation, like a Boo reincarnation type thing to Oob. Bison. Actually, I think his Rose is her own person, but like the power she has, came from Bison as kind of like a split of his good and evil.
Oh,
Right?
so 21.
She got yeah.
Okay.
It's I forgot some of the lore, but I believe that was her origin. At least as was presented in Alpha,
Okay.
I think. That she has the good half of Bison's psycho powers.
Because that somehow works that way.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact details on how or why, but yeah,
Okay.
that is what that is. Yeah, and then Rose has connections to Guy, who has connections to Cody and Hager and a couple of other characters. And so like, yeah,
Yeah, because I looked into Alpha. Alpha is pretty much backstory to these characters when they were younger.
yeah,
Then
it's the prequel.
in the main line up till 3. 3, the way that they've described it, like the next generation, feels like, oh yeah, it's a time skip game.
Yeah,
And then 4 just kind of is like a slight time skip worth.
Yeah.
And then 5 is like, okay, let's make these characters.
Bridging to 3, yeah.
Yeah, from going from 4 to 5 was more like, okay, let's make these characters look older, but also kind of cool at the same time with redesigns. And I think Ken got the worst of it based on everything I've been hearing and how I see him.
His face, his hair, it just looks wrong.
Did you say wrong or long?
Wrong.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
His outfit's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of what I hear from that. That's, poor Ken.
Oh, just look at Max Million Dude's reaction to Ken.
He's a Ken main, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because Ken wears red and is blonde.
Oh, okay. That was fate for him then. Okay. Well.
Like you'll notice if you watch his other videos or like other games.
Yeah.
He gravitates towards the blonde in the red area and some other stuff. Rock Howard. Granted, part of it is also just because he just likes the way the character plays as well. But as far as Ken goes in Street Fighter V,
yeah,
I don't think he liked the way Ken plays.
Oh, okay.
Mainly because of his V trigger.
V trigger. Okay, that's terminology I'm not familiar with, but.
So Street Fighter V, they introduced a mechanic called V trigger, or V trigger, and each character has a different one. That it acts. Each one does a unique thing for the character, and it's usually some sort of it's usually some sort of install or buff.
Okay.
And then it also it like helps them combo better and whatnot. Ken's it buffs his hurricane kicks, and I believe also his Shoryukens. Like they all do extra damage. Thing is, upon activation, he does a bit of a run forward.
Okay, I know what you do.
And then also the V skill that he has is like a mini dash forward as well.
Okay.
So I don't think he particularly liked that because it leaves you open. So you have to buffer into it like every time.
Oh well. Yeah, because Street Fighter's been looking pretty good. Like, I saw the trailer for 6. 6. I'm assuming at this point Capcom is like, how can we make the next game look prettier on next gen hardware? Like, that's all that they're using with Street Fighter now. Like, they're not in the sake of like, oh, the lore, or we're gonna make this next iteration just because we have to, right?
Pretty much. I mean, that's how a lot of the fighting games are. Their story is just there as a skeleton for things to happen.
Okay.
If you want deeper lore and story that seems more connected, don't play the games.
Watch the
The
anime.
games aren't gonna give you that.
Watch the anime, right?
No, just like, I mean, you could, yeah, but those aren't connected to aren't connected to the main canon. They're just adaptations of the canon,
Oh, okay, okay.
right? But if you want like if you want like full story and lore, just like look up some videos going over like the actual history and depth of like the characters and story itself. It'll sound a lot cooler just being told what the fuck's happened.
Okay. All right. Well, that seems pretty cool. I look forward to just kind of deep diving in, I guess. Because
Like, characters that seem like caricatures of certain stereotypes and such actually still have, some actual motivations and stuff that actually tie them to the plot. Like T-Hawk, for example. Probably don't know who the fuck T-Hawk is, but T-Hawk is a character that actually had some relevance in the story with the Shadow Loop stuff because of the dolls.
I am prepared.
One of the dolls is his a cousin or sister or something.
Oh,
It was sister, but yeah.
it's pretty cool.
So, yeah. Do you know who T-Hawk is?
No.
He's the Native American stereotype.
Oh, that dude. That dude. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I know. Just based on that description alone. Okay.
He's the only one.
Man, can't do much damage, this boy. Okay. Okay, yeah, because I think I'm just gonna commit to going down the rabbit hole of Street Fighter in general.
Do this for all of us.
Because it looks very cool. Like it hits that anime sweet spot that I've discussed with you in previous sessions beforehand.
Hey, while you're at it, check out King of Fighters also, or Fatal Fury even, or any of the things that came before King of Fighters. Those are also pretty good too.
Maybe. I one thing at a time though, because I don't want to get fatigued.
That's a suggestion.
But yeah, I'll definitely look that up.
It's the other classic fighting game that's persisted up until now.
Alright, say goodbye to this tank boy.
Then, like, I would make some other recommendations, but they're all a little more obscure too obscure for your liking anyway.
Yeah, probably. One thing at a time though, because when you, as you know, if I start liking something, it becomes part of my repertoire of things, and I like getting the full experience to know if I want to commit to it. Was it in terms of anything else going on with Maximilian that I've been watching? It's oh wait, hold on. Alright, just my dad walked in, he asked me to charge his earphones. Okay, so pretty much what does he do? Like is he just a fighting game guy? Is that his entire shtick?
No,
What does he do?
fighting games is just the thing that he likes the most.
Okay.
But he plays other games. The Final Fantasy VII is one of his favorite games of all time. He loves Resident Evil.
Okay.
And he's willing to try just about like any type of game so long as it interests him. But the content that he uploads, it's mainly content that interests him. He doesn't try to follow trends anymore, unless it's like a fighting game. He'll check it out. He'll try like the beta or whatever, and then he'll like move on, right?
Okay.
He also likes he's a big Capcom fan in general. I think he likes Capcom, SNK.
That's sweet. He'll be
And
okay. Yeah.
what else is there? I've watched other stuff of his, but I haven't watched a lot of his other because I mainly go to him for like fighting game videos and and the occasional like other upload that just happens to look interesting. But yeah, primarily he's a fighting game dude.
Okay.
Close one.
I might subscribe to him if a lot of the other videos kind of live up to what I've been liking so far. Yeah.
I'm not even subscribed.
Wait, what?
I probably should, but like majority of the time, I'm watching on something that's not even logged on.
Oh. Oh yeah, well definitely the you know I need a substitute for Zero because oh nice, completely decimated a health bar from. Yeah, the because I'm definitely trying to find somebody to replace Zero because Zero is he's kind of fallen off after trying to redeem himself after his controversy, and I want to just kind of find some other type of fighting game dude to replace that because you know fighting games are inherently like I really love like the blood pumping that fighting games can give out. I'm never gonna be good at them anymore, but it's always good to see people showcase stuff like that.
Yeah, I enjoy watching the tournament play of a lot of those.
So,
As long as I don't end up watching nothing but MAME content in the tournament itself. Like I don't like watching lame play.
oh my goodness. What happens in that?
What?
The type of gameplay you were talking about.
Oh, it's just like people like running out the clock
Oh.
and stuff. Like people playing pragmatically rather than playing in a way that's entertaining and like fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't watch pragmatism here. I watch the things that go boom and sparkly and help me go whoosh.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so switching gears to another conversation. I just saw the Sonic movie. Do you plan on watching that at all or any point in time?
Probably watch it at some point when the opportunity presents.
Does it matter to you about spoilers? It'd be a good time to talk about that.
I probably don't, but even then, I'm still gonna say don't bother.
Okay.
Don't say anything about it.
Okay. Well, I can give a general view of that movie since.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Okay.
But don't tell me specifics because part of the fun of watching the first movie was not knowing anything about it.
Oh well, actually, since we're getting into Sonic, like if you can give me your thoughts on the first Sonic movie, like what you thought about it. You did see that one, right?
It was fun. Yeah, I watched it while I was in Vegas for Thanksgiving.
Okay, so like in short, I guess in the short matter of like the first movie, I really enjoyed the first movie. I knew that the first movie kind of suffered from like a story problem. That was.
I mean, it was bare bones, yeah, but it was mostly just like getting its foot in the door.
Yeah, and you really felt that. You really felt that going in. That
Yeah,
this movie had a by the numbers plot and everything. Like.
Yeah, but it's not bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah. My main point though is that oh sweet, I can do this. My main point on that is just the fact that it felt like Sonic in a movie, but not like a Sonic movie per se. I enjoyed it because of how Sonic was, and the Sonic fanboy in me is just like, oh man, I finally get to see my boy on the big screen. That type of thing. With Sonic 2, I will say that in general, like again, this is like a non-spoiler kind of way of looking at it. They did a lot of things right that the original movie didn't, or made you led to believe at first was gonna do. It has a lot of game references. It has a lot of lore from the games, kind of like really interspliced in here, into the.
It's introducing Knuckles in the Master Emerald, right? So
It has that. It was a big deal. Knuckles is almost
Sonic 3.
Yeah, they went 2 and 3 because Tails is in here.
Yeah.
Tails was handled fairly well. You're gonna question a little bit, depending on your point of view, of how they dealt with Tails. But like Knuckles was, I want to say, probably the highlight of the movie. I don't think there's ever a scene in the movie where I felt like it was bad when Knuckles was involved. It was actually like when you see him on screen, you're like, oh man, he's gonna do the thing. And you know, this is okay. This is not really a spoiler because this is at the very beginning of the movie, and I'm just gonna give you in context to how the movie is treating itself compared to the first one. Literally, the last thing Robotnik tells Knuckles after Knuckles asks him, "Where is the Master Emerald and where is Sonic?" Robotnik's like, "If you want to know, I can show you the way." And immediately, Jose and Diego and I, we were laughing because they made a Uganda Knuckles joke. And I was like, I know it's an old meme by this point, but like, it's hilarious to know that they're gonna go into the whole Uganda Knuckles meme out of anything just for the sake of getting the line out. And immediately I'm like, okay, they're gonna start doing this. There's lots of nods and references to like obscure Sonic stuff in this movie. Sometimes it goes by screen so fast you don't even notice it. So you're like, oh, that was a thing. I'm surprised they added that in there. And again, there's like I think 3 acts in this movie. The first act I would say was pretty good. The second act kind of was like, okay, there's some things in here in this movie that don't feel like it should be here. And then the third act really wraps things up where I feel like it's really, really good. Would I say this movie's better than the first one? Heck yeah. I don't understand why people think that the first one was better, but this movie definitely earns a lot of kudos and respect in my opinion, because they did a lot of things different from the first one that makes this movie feel more like a Sonic movie instead of a movie with Sonic in it. And I enjoyed, I want to say, like 80% of the movie. The other 20% is kind of what I just said already, where it's like, okay, why is this in this movie? We're not here to see this part of the movie. We're here to see Sonic do Sonic things. And for the most part, they did that in a very PG sort of way. A lot of innuendos in this movie compared to the first one, which I guess is welcome depending on your point of view. But like, it was handled fairly well, I'd say. So good movie, good movie. I would definitely recommend watching this movie over the first one any day. So that's my review of it.
I mean, the first one was an introduction to the character and the general setting. Like, I don't see why you're saying it's just a movie with Sonic in it rather than it's not a Sonic. It has Sonic, it has Robotnik, it has the Badniks.
A lot of the questions you'll have for the first Sonic movie is that why is Sonic inside of a car when he clearly has shown enough intelligence / nepitude to run really, really fast and get to his location. Like he literally ran in, like, even for the sake of a joke.
It's a Sonic movie.
Yes.
No one's going to question logic. It's a Sonic movie. No one's going to be analyzing this like it's the fucking Flash.
I get that, but also at the same time, that is what's hurting the Sonic 2 movie right now. A lot of the critics the only consensus is like the second part of the movie I'm talking about. Like when you go see that, you'll understand what I mean when I get to that. But
I'm probably not gonna fucking care.
But that is pretty much like the biggest point of contention for a lot of people reviewing the movie. It's just that, oh yeah, I don't like this, and I also don't like the pacing of the movie, which I've heard a lot of people really complain about. Dude, even Arlo, and I haven't finished watching the video, so I could redact my statement once I finish seeing it. But even Arlo doesn't like the movie, and that's Arlo.
Fuck is Arlo?
You know, the little blue Muppet guy.
No, I don't.
Never seen him? I thought we talked about this before regarding this too. Oh well.
Might have. I don't know what the fuck that is.
No. Oh, okay. Well, I guess
not by name. Not by name. It's not going to give me a picture.
Well, and just in short,
that's like you naming somebody that I work with.
Oh. Oh well. Well, either way,
I'm not gonna know who the fuck that is just because you say it.
Arlo is pretty much. If you ever look him up, Arlo is pretty much.
I'm probably not.
He's like a Muppet that reviews games and all that stuff. Very kid friendly.
Okay.
I wouldn't say like kid friendly. Like he's fairly reserved about his reviews, but he's very critical on things. Like when the first Sonic movie came out, he was like, "Yeah, it's a good movie," And then when this movie came out, like he's like borderline like disappointed in it. I'm like, what? The movie was great. The movie was great. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then I listened to a lot of the other reviewers. One side takes the point of the movie is just so does not make sense in a lot of regards, and then other people are like the movie is fantastic. But the biggest common thing is the second part of the movie. Everyone agrees should not even be in the movie. It's 2 hour long movie, and 20 minutes of that entire interaction with that second part of the movie did not need to be there. And I agree with it. Even looking back at it, it was still funny, but again, Wes is doing in my Sonic movie, you know. That's the general consensus of it.
I think you and everybody else is taking it a little too seriously.
But wait. I'm not on the other side of the fence thinking it needs to be a poetic masterpiece. I enjoyed it. It's just
No,
everybody else.
yeah, but I feel like y'all are expecting too much out of it and trying to find something better when it like every time there's something that's not something that's like fluff or like something that's just unnecessary. Like you're gonna have unnecessary parts in a movie. That does happen. But if it's still entertaining and not like just why and more just like whatever, then whatever. That's like saying that Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
A part of it did not need to happen, right? An entire subplot did not need to happen because it only served to add the movie, right?
Yeah.
But you could have also argued, oh no, it was necessary because it was supposed to be a moment for the character to just do something and develop, which is also equally fair and valid to say and view, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, yeah, it was padding, and at the end of the day, it also did absolutely dick all for anything that happened. Doesn't mean it, but like it was there.
Yeah.
And yeah, everybody complained about it. I actually don't know what the fuck point I'm trying to get at. I think I'm talking in circles now. Basically, like these things happen. And yeah, okay, you're disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's disappointed. Okay. At the same time, like, it's just a movie.
Yeah, I know.
And also, like, keep in mind what IP they're using for that movie.
Yeah.
I'd say like the fact that it's actually entertaining and good and fun, far outweighs anything like consistent writing. In this case, normally I'd be like, no, writing must be consistent at all times. Like in this case, I'm like, it's a Sonic movie. That's like if I was to watch the Super Mario Brothers movie back in the fucking 80s or 90s, and be like, I don't understand why everything's so weird in this. Like, this isn't Super Mario. Like, it's not, no. But at the same time, it's a fucking video game movie. Like, what are you expecting out of this? The people working on it don't even know what the fuck the game is.
Yeah,
they're only working on it because their kids recognize the fucking titles.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So the fact that this is getting any kind of actual attention and care to be at all accurate of an adaptation, like that is already leaps and bounds above anything else that's out.
Exactly. Well,
I don't think people need to complain about something as little as this part was unnecessary. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. The fact that your movie, the fact that your franchise's movie is actually good outweighs that.
Well, again, that is pretty much my main gist of what the reviews have said. Like, at the end of the day, reviewers don't matter. It matters if you like it or not on a personal level. But at the same time, when you hear a lot of people saying that type of stuff, it will affect decisions that the next... Because we're going to get another movie. That's not a spoiler at this point. we're getting a Sonic 3. That is going to happen. So depending on how people feel about this movie is going to largely determine, what their choices are going to be in terms of developing it. I think that goes without saying. The reviewers kind of hold the money
To an extent, yeah.
something like that. So they're gonna see that feedback and be like, oh, people didn't like X, Y, and Z. For the most part, a lot of reviewers that are negative towards it, besides the one thing I do agree with, which is that one part that doesn't feel like it needed to be there. It's more of a like, why are you guys complaining about it? I agree with you on that. It's a Sonic movie at the end of the day. Why complain about something that is aimed for kids, and also is doing a pretty decent job at entertaining? That's what it's doing. It's not brain dead. Like this movie's not brain dead. It's there to have fun with it. So
Exactly. And the first Sonic movie was fun.
Uh-huh.
It had Sonic. It gave us a basic bitch origin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Completely unlike the actual Sonic origin, but whatever. They had to come up with a way to explain away why he's interacting with humans at all. So that's fair. They took liberties with that, and it works. I don't mind. It's whatever. They made the rings actually have context. So it's not just, oh yeah, I just collect these things and they arbitrarily give me power. It's like they're actual magical objects. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. So yeah, it gave context to just regular game mechanics or game features in a world that was supposed to be quote unquote realistic. It's also coming from a world where it has a complete dick of a or maybe not complete dick, but a what's the other phrase? Narcissist. You have a complete narcissist just walking into official government business with a bajillion drones that he built himself that function as good as fucking Tony Stark tech in an MCU movie. It's still a cartoon.
Yeah. So that's
no matter what fucking happens, I'm doesn't matter. It's a cartoon. You're not meant to take it seriously. You're meant to just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, don't complain about it.
Thank you.
Don't try to turn it into, oh no, this needs to be deep, dark, edgy, brooding, and it also needs to make sense because my literary brain is too big for this writing. This level of writing is just too immature.
Yeah, that seems to be the biggest consensus a lot with these reviewers, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I agree with
fucking
the
Sonic
thing.
movie.
It's a Sonic movie. It's supposed to be fun, and you guys are expecting.
No one expects a Sonic game to have good writing. They expect it to play well and to entertain them between levels.
Well, I'd argue there are different set of reviewers with different set of expectations. You got the movie people judging the Sonic movie based solely on what their limited knowledge of Sonic is. So, and then
they should at least point out that they don't know jack about the franchise or about the IP, and from there just give their takes on the movie as presented. And that's fine.
And then you have the video game reviewers who know the baggage that comes with Sonic, because as we all know, Sonic is the biggest punching bag on the internet in the gaming space.
Basically.
So.
And I'm pretty sure all of them would say, "Yeah, this was really cool."
Yeah, but the movie reviewers in general,
it's like, guys, don't worry, Sonic games suck. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, the
movies are saving it.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny about that. It honestly feels like Sega is really cashing in on the whole popularity that the movies had. honestly, I could feel like the movies might overtake people's idea of what Sonic is, basically because it's being a movie. But like,
I mean, that's basically what happened with Spider-Man in every single comic book.
but oh well, yeah, you get a fair point on that. But like the main thing about it is that even in Sonic Colors, you know the remake slash demake that they had on the current consoles, right? The Sonic Colors game. Did you hear about that one?
Why did you say demake?
There was a lot of problems on launch. Like it was very very buggy. And to think about the Sonic Colors that originally came out on the Nintendo
Wii?
Wii, it was a masterpiece. Like Colors is regarded as one of the best, like the better Sonic games out there. The 3D ones.
Yeah, it's like it was a return to form.
Yeah. So when when the remake came out for the current consoles, yeah, it looked shiny, but there was like a lot of glitches, a lot of falling through floors stuff happening.
Yeah, I heard about all of that.
Oh, that doesn't kill me, right? Please don't kill me. Come on.
I know you were
After all
gonna
that.
call that demake.
Yeah, well, I'm joking about the demake situation, but like,
And when you say demake, I'm like, so they downgraded everything. Just say it was buggy. Like, yeah, the remaster, and then it was fucking buggy. Yeah, I know about it.
yeah. So like, well, this move did do hit dildo. Okay, let me see if I can save from here. So like, I guess I'm gonna have to heal again. What was it? Oh yeah, one of the skins because Sonic has in that game Sonic is able to customize his garb or like his character model, and one of them is Movie Sonic, and I was like, oh, that's cool, I guess. And so like that's like the first time where I've seen like a kind of blending, as you could probably say, of the movie bleeding into the games, because that's normally something that they would probably keep separate. It's like, oh, we don't want to have the any type of movie rep be in our video game, you know. But now
they should have used Bad Sonic.
Yeah, Bad Sonic for that.
They should have used Bad Sonic just to be funny.
Dude, you imagine though, like imagine how Knuckles would look if we would have the original design.
He looked like Sonic Boom.
Yeah. Oh, Jack with the really bad Sonic face.
Yeah, he looked like Sonic Boom.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
With the long ass fucking legs. He'd have muscly arms because he's supposed to punch stuff, right? So it's like, no, just you have material right here. Don't pull a fucking Kathleen Kennedy and say you have nothing to base it off of.
That's
For God's sake, if you're gonna make an adaptation, just fucking adapt it.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Put what's there onto the screen. You don't need to change it.
Oh boy. Ooh, good gambit here. Oh,
Don't be careless.
But yeah. So I guess in short, I would recommend you watching the movie. I think it's better than the first one. It does more justice to the character, and it feels like a genuine Sonic movie that it's on the lore more or less on that. So yeah, I like it. I hope you see it someday. You're probably you're probably not gonna want to watch it in theaters though. It's probably gonna be like a. Huh?
I'm probably gonna see it at some point on something that's free.
That's free. Oh, okay. YouTube. All right.
No, I mean just like either somebody else's thing, or like there's a good chance my brother will probably put it on just because, just to check it out.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he hadn't seen the first Sonic until we watched it, and we both actually enjoyed it.
That was good.
Jim Carrey was fun. Sonic was fun. Cyclops was fun. You know.
Cyclops. What?
James Marsden.
Oh, yeah, I heard Cyclops. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, he played Cyclops. Okay.
Yeah. In the first X-Men trilogy. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna be like, what? When did Cyclops get involved?
Yeah, he's the dude that got killed off at the very beginning of the movie that was supposed to be about his love interest. Yeah.
I love how they respected the character.
Well, part of the reason why they killed him off is because he was also working on something else at the time.
I didn't even know
Rather than conflict the schedules, they just gave him less screen time and just killed him off to make it easier.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something, all right.
Yeah. Also, the fact that like I think James Marsden noticed that like his character wasn't really involved in either of the other two movies
Yeah.
beforehand. So it's like no, I was like no, I want to work on this project. Fuck you guys. I was like, I don't care if I'm under a contract to be here. I don't need like I'm working on this. Like, okay, fine. Why don't we kill you off? Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Man, in most cases, people would be furious about that.
Yeah, no, like I don't remember the specifics about it because like there's like hearsay from like somebody talked about like like interview like obscure interviews about it and like behind the scene comments of stuff and yeah, so I don't know the full details because the last time I heard about it was quite a while ago, but Cyclops got shafted in the movies and the comics around that time.
I think the conversation with Jose and you talking about how they favored Wolverine a lot during that time, probably like a big reason for that.
Yeah. Thing is, like even like before that, Wolverine wasn't actually the most popular character. It's just Wolverine was a popular character. Gambit was a popular character. You know, Cyclops was slightly falling out, mainly because of decisions by like other writers making him unlikable for one reason or another. But around that time, he was still mainly just the Boy Scout. You know, the stern. No, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this the way I tell you to, because I'm in charge and this is what's happening. But yeah, no, like Cyclops is supposed to be a fucking badass.
Oh well, forever
And like the most annoying thing about like everything that has Cyclops in it, like yeah, Cyclops is pretty powerful if he looks at you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do we stop him from just nuking the bad guy? Well, let's just have him get attacked from behind, or let's just take off his visor when he's not expecting it.
Brilliant.
So like, so he'll have a moment of panic because oh no, I'm about to nuke like 30 people by accident with his punching eyes.
Yeah. Good thing his eyelids conceal the consistent beam.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because his eyes are apparently a portal to another dimension. Which is where his optic blasts actually come from. But yeah, no, like Cyclops is like trained to operate without looking at anything because of his weakness and penchant for losing his visors that control control and regulate his power.
Yeah.
Like if you take away his sight, he can still fight you hand to hand. He'll listen for you, and he can also recount his steps across the battlefield to to retrieve his lost eyewear.
Okay, okay, hold up. I know we're enjoying the conversation. I am, but I want to say we're doing this the complete wrong way. But it gives you a nice line. If you manage to destroy all these guys without flipping the switch off for these thingies, she'll know. She's like, "What? The Titanus was not enough for you?" Which is nice touch.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, Cyclops. He pretty much has that like fighting with like sense, right? Like.
Yeah, he's like Daredevil, but instead of having his senses heightened because of his powers, it's no, he just learned how to rely on them more in case he can't look at anything.
Okay. Well, so that's a huge good boost for that. All right.
So, like he's not going to be like catching stuff out of the air, like from bullseye or anything like that. If he doesn't have his visor, but he can fight without looking at you.
Speaking of him, it's really weird looking at Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and seeing how cool they made him in that game.
And then just exclude him completely.
Yeah, and
afterwards.
And then later on they're like, Cyclops who? We got this Wolverine guy, you know?
They didn't even include Gambit. How did they get away with including Wolverine and Storm and Magneto and Jean of all fucking people? They included Jean.
Mm-hmm.
So why the fuck do you include Jean? We don't want all the people that just float around and shoot beams from the X-Men. We want the X-Men. Yeah, we have Wolverine. That's a staple. He's a rush down. Okay, we had and then you have like Cyclops, who's an all rounder because he can shoot, he can angle his shots, and he can also combo the fuck out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Gambit, who he threw stuff at you, yeah, but he also like jumped off the walls. Yeah, he had a staff to whack you with. His super looked really cool because he's just throwing parts at you like they're fucking knives.
Yeah.
And then they explode. He's constantly just throwing basically grenades at you. Right?
Yeah.
And then what was another X-Men character on the old roster? MVC2 had Marrow, but that's whatever.
Oh, Marrow was super well animated. I'm surprised.
Yeah, Marrow. Well, so the reason why Marrow was so well animated is because Marrow was one of the few original sprites for that game. Everybody else was a reused sprite from a previous Capcom game.
Oh, okay.
So, like most of the X-Men characters that you didn't know or recognize or whatever were from X-Men Children of the Atom, like Blackheart, Silver Samurai, that chick with the 6 arms.
Oh, okay.
And then also Omega Red, Sabretooth. Although most of them also, I believe, were also reused for Marvel superheroes, as well as the first Marvel versus Capcom, right? One of the newer ones at that time was Sentinel, if I'm remembering correctly. Sentinel was introduced in MVC2.
That would explain the ability for them to put so many characters in there because they were just constantly reusing.
Yeah, all they had to do was just program hit detection.
Pretty smart, right? Especially for the time.
I mean, it's a way to cut corners and also not necessarily innovate, but it's a way to do a lot with less.
Yeah, definitely.
Other original characters to MVC2 was Ruby Heart, Sun, Amingo, and who else was on the roster?
I think I could just end this now. Yeah, I can just end the battle now.
There's so many characters in MVC2. Cable. Cable was another one that was original to MVC2. Cable hadn't been included in any of those games until MVC2, as well as I don't know who else, but yeah. The reason why a lot of the sprites look a bit weird is because most of them are old.
Yeah, definitely. Look at you, Morgan.
CBS did the same thing. Capcom versus SNK. They did the same thing. They just took the most recent sprites of the characters that they included, and just, went from there for their collaboration.
All right.
So the sprites don't look the same. Don't look like they were worked on by the same artist because they weren't. Although some sprites did get, although they did have some unique sprites for that game as well, because some of the characters were originally in 3D only. So they had to make a 2D sprite of that character and like anything else, and any of the other assets.
Like Jill.
To their
Like Jill.
Oh yeah, Jill was one character. Yeah, in MVC 2. Yeah, and then like in CVS, Capcom versus SNK, they included a couple characters from Real Bout High School, or yeah, I believe that's what that one was called, Real Bout High School, which is also in the same universe as Street Fighter. So, funnily enough, or no, not Real Bout, no, Rival School. Rival School. That's what it was called. Real Bout High School is some anime from like the mid 2000s.
Okay.
No, Rival School, which was basically a Capcom's attempt at making a 3D Street Fighter esque, that had an emphasis on air combat, similar to what you would see in an MVC later, right? And it's pretty good.
Oh, cool.
Street Fighter V actually got a character from Rival Schools as one of the last few DLC characters.
Luke, right? Was it Luke?
No. Luke is a completely new character. The chick with like the camo shirt and the biker looking stuff.
Oh, the very out of place anime-esque girl with their brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, her.
Akira.
She's Akira. Yeah, she's from Rival School. She's like one of the standout popular characters from Rival School as well.
Man, when I saw that character, she kind of clashes a bit enough for me to be like, she's from the same game, right?
She's from the same world.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of style, like even when I saw her, because I bear in mind I saw like the super list, and I look at her, and she looks clearly different from like the rest of everybody else. But I didn't.
I think it looks fairly consistent with everybody else's design.
But no,
they literally just kept her the same exact fucking age. That's the only problem. Like rather than updating her to look like she's aged like Sakura has, she looks exactly the same as she did in Rival Schools.
Okay, before we continue with the game, I do want to say Sakura. In terms of Sakura, she looks super Captain 5. It's odd. It's odd. It's odd to me. Anyway, I raised the volume a bit. You could probably hear the audio of the game a lot better now. So we're gonna get back.
But I could hear earlier, but yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to the story now. So I'm gonna let it play out a bit, and then we'll go on from there.
We care about the story at this point.
I mean, I was playing the game.
It's over, Cornelia. If you have any last words, now is the time.
Right you are. Very well. I have an old tale that I would like you to hear, if I may. About something that happened 10 years ago. Something Patricia said about how she wished to see her real daughter again, no matter who or what she had to sacrifice to do so. And about how I made her wish come true, at the cost of the king's head.
The king's head? You mean Dusker? You monster! You mean to say that my father, everyone, was killed by my stepmother?
That's right. Her family meant everything to her. You certainly know that.
I thought you were expecting Dio, but it was actually me.
Unloved by the only mother he ever knew. How pitiful.
How dare you!
There's nothing left for you now. Nothing but despair.
Gotta say, props to her voice acting there. It did sound like she was about to die.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Got EXP for that. Alright.
Meanwhile, all the degenerates watching are just gonna be like, stepmother. Okay, well, Dimitri's gonna impale that.
Are you sure you're just not describing yourself? We just went through an entire episode of Transformers last week, doing nothing but that.
Nah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about making jokes like that here.
Try as that woman might to spout nonsense to her very last, nothing could change the fact that she was an enemy of the kingdom. She sold out Fargus to
Justified
the
my
Empire,
killing.
forcing our people to suffer their tyranny. But all that ends today.
Are we sure she's dead?
No more blood will be needlessly spilled. Now that Cornelia has fallen, we will exert pressure on the nobles who were aligned with her. Perhaps we may yet find a connection.
It's
to
like,
the
what?
tragic
Cornelia
events
has
of
fallen? Oh no.
Once we do that,
Garland will attack.
we'll be able to prove
Chaos
the
is
innocence of
coming.
its people.
Your Highness, I am certain that would make those of Dusker who lost their lives that day very happy. I am grateful, and I am proud to serve a man such as you.
Come, Your Highness. You still have some responsibilities that must be carried out. Your people have been patiently awaiting your return.
Do you mean... No. I can't bear to face them after all that I...
Get out there and just kicks him over there.
Professor,
You must go.
I am their king after all.
Like he has been chosen.
What
Oh no,
is
it's a
this?
bunch of faceless.
I will say I like this. I like this artwork here,
Oh yeah, definitely.
mainly because of the render of Dimitri's cape there.
The kingdom in disgrace.
I really like that shot of his cape.
The spectacle before you does not lie.
Yeah,
You're a
I see it.
kingdom in
I see
need
it.
of a
The thing
king.
that bothers me is just the fact that
Here,
everyone it
to
looks like
save the
faceless
people
out there.
from their long oppression.
Oh yeah, but that's just to imply the distance that's there. But like as far as this PNG is concerned,
Do I really have the
I
right to stay?
really like his cape.
Will they accept me as
It's so good.
bloodstained as I am? Am I fit to be king?
I mean, we're already here.
Yes. You are right again, my friend. I am finally home again.
All right, Piccolo.
How I missed you.
Oh, cool. Another one here. Evening.
We just tell him suck it up, and he's like, yes. Oh,
It may be spring,
nice.
but the nights are quite chilly here in Ferdiad. Still, our celebratory feast shows no sign of stopping. Have you grown weary of the festivities?
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a break.
If memory serves, you were much the same at the ball all those years ago. I have just returned from visiting the graves
Like,
of my
dude, why are you remembering me at the
It has been a
ball?
long while since I left Flowers. I was always
You were
terribly
watching me?
afraid of going near there, but I could not stay away forever.
Dude, what the fuck?
You have taught
Like-
me something important, Professor.
I wasn't doing nothing at the bar. I was trying to hit up a table guard. What are you talking about?
You never let up, do you? No, what I'm referring to is far more valuable.
Hey, Dimitri,
How
have
should
you
I
ever
put this?
considered getting a robot eye?
Perhaps it is most accurate to say that you taught me how to live. If you and I had not reunited on that fateful day, I am certain
He doesn't have rocket to give him a fake eye.
I would have foolishly challenged a horde of foes.
Oh, I'm pretty sure
And in
you
doing
could have
so,
magicked one for him
needlessly
after the war
sacrificed
was
the
over.
lives of my friends and myself. But now I have returned.
Oh
to
yeah,
my
just
rightful place.
Naruto it and just
I struggle with what to say.
place a hand over his face.
Hand over
Boom,
face,
new
here's
eye.
my eye. Thunk it into
You
your eyeball,
saved
because
me
that's
from
how
the
eyes work.
darkness and guided me back to the light.
Or that too, yeah.
Professor,
I was going more with the
thank you.
Sage Naruto, but okay, yeah.
That is a hard question to answer.
That was one of the things
I
my
still
mom
do
brought
not
up. She's
believe
like,
I deserve
ew,
this.
their hands
These
aren't even
hands of
clean
mine
when
have
they're
taken
giving it
so
to
many
each other.
lives. Nobles and commoners, adults and
So
children.
eyes in that world make no
Today
fucking
will
sense.
come when I have finally
Like
atoned for my sins.
at first it made sense because like you had to be like a fucking surgery, but after that, like, it's just like nah. Like we got regen powers. We're just gonna fucking pop this in.
After that, we must prepare for our battle with the Empire. To start,
Okay.
we must absorb the Kingdom Knights taken by the dukedom into our own forces and reshuffle our troops. The lords will need to help purge our territory of Imperial forces, and I will use my authority as king to gather forces from various regions. And we'll have to ask the merchants to lend us the funds we require. Oh,
All this
we must
blah
start
blah
mass
blah
delivery
for
of
one
supplies at
chapter of
once.
nothing.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
I cannot handle all this work by myself, you know. I will be counting on you, Professor. There is much to do, but it is all critical work if we hope to stand a chance against the Empire. Yes, I am well aware. I believe we have spoken of this before. Everyone has something they simply cannot accept. As for Edelgard, I am certain she will never be able to accept the Church of Seros. I believe that is why she seeks to destroy it. She is looking to revolutionize the world, in her mind, for the better. But even if she manages to birth a new world, it would be at the cost of... I wish to end this war through acceptance, not annihilation.
I
Just
want
as
us to
my
remember
people
this part
accepted
here,
me, I wish dearly
'cause,
to accept her.
Oh, hold on.
But I fear...
Your Highness, I finally found you.
I'm sorry for slipping away. Has something happened?
An express messenger just arrived from the leader of the Alliance. Please, return to the castle at once.
An express messenger? What in the world could Claude be after? I am on my way. Professor, please join me.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure there's more cutscenes to follow, but I do want to bring up something. Basically, with the whole motivation that we've talked to death from like parts 1 through 5, but like when the fire emblem, when the three houses, what's the term for it? When the three house warriors comes out later, I think it's later this year. I think it has to be coming out this year. I want to
Could
play.
be, based on what I remember hearing.
Yeah, I want to play that game on stream live for the first time. I want to go into it blind. Because that's going to be interesting because based on how the trailers are framing it, I do honestly believe it's going to be the golden path. That is just how I feel like the game's going to go. And based on everything that we know about the game already, or like the story from this game already, I really want to see how it's going to measure up with what we think could have happened. With all the maybe they deal with all the threats
Part 2.
that each of these
Azure
paths don't
Moon.
go through.
Garland Moon. The Golden Deer's plea.
So that's just one thing I want to bring up. When we end up getting to that game, I want to play that one blind on stream just to see, have an honest reaction of how things turn out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we should be done with the game by that point. Should be. We got about maybe 4 more chapters to go before this game ends. So do look forward to that. All right. Ooh, we got ourselves a cutscene again. Let's see what they have to say. Oh, this is the cloud thing. Here we go.
We have received a request for aid from the Alliance. They are being invaded by the Empire. We have only just taken back Ferdiad, and yet I am already asking all of you to move out once more. Please accept my apologies for that.
That's no problem at all. More importantly, how is the Alliance faring?
House Regan has rallied the Alliance lords. They are facing the enemy with all the strength they can muster. But we do not know how far that will get them. It seems the enemy's relentless attacks have forced them into a tough situation. Their defeat at Gronder severely weakened the Alliance. I imagine the Empire now intends to destroy them before they can recover.
To think they'd watch us chase their soldiers out of the kingdom capital, then immediately go invade the Alliance. Their general is Lord Volkard von Arundel. He serves as regent to the Emperor. He has presumably taken command after the Emperor was wounded in Gronder.
He is known for his shrewdness and excels not only in domestic affairs, but tactics as well. He is not an opponent we should take lightly. Lord Arundel. I always suspected that Lord Arundel was behind the tragedy 9 years ago. The timing of his departure from the kingdom, the fact that he abruptly stopped making donations. Too many factors made him suspect.
Donations.
Lord
Huh?
Arundel conspired
That's how
with
you got him.
Cornelia. Then what Kronya and the others said 5 years ago. Well, never mind that for now. The Alliance needs our help. What are your thoughts?
If we turn our back on the Alliance and then Deirdre falls, it will undoubtedly make our situation difficult further down the road. We would have enemies in 2 directions, in the Alliance to the northeast and in the Empire to the south.
That is true. In that scenario, we would not be able to safely march our soldiers to Enbar.
I am terribly worried about Lady Rhea, but I believe we must save the Alliance first. Oh, maybe if we do this, the Alliance will help us out in return. We could ask them to help us attack the Empire. You know, a sneak attack or something. Annie, when did you become so devious?
What would your mother think?
What? It wasn't that devious.
What do you think, Professor?
I don't know. Ask Dimitri.
We must go to Deirdre. I will admit that there is something to be gained for us as well, for when we eventually march south. But far more importantly, they need us. We cannot turn our backs on them. We will arrange to head out at once. Prepare yourselves, everyone.
And yeah, that about does it for this week. I want to do a rando game, but running out of time. It's also 11 o'clock now. And I don't want Reggie to pass out, so yeah. Let's lower down the volume.
What was the planned game?
Planned game was going to be a bit of Cuphead. But yeah, I don't feel in the mood to be doing Cuphead now.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'd have stayed up for that.
Cuphead is one of those games I want to play solo and then play co-op with Diego when he comes over.
Didn't we already try that?
No, we didn't.
What the fuck did I play Cuphead with?
You played Cuphead with me at work.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
So you...
I never did for stream.
Okay.
Yeah, so... Yeah, that's going to be our endpoint here. Let's go put the save button here. And I think we're all good on side quests. I think there's no more side quests that are, like, important. Yeah, these are just, like, regular stuff. So we could... Oh, except this one. The Silver Maiden. Because that one popped up only because Dimitri is now a good guy now. Okay, so maybe we'll delve into that, I guess. So, yeah, I think there's... all the other characters have their resolutions done. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and then we'll go into next time, which is, what's the next chapter? What's the next chapter called? Was it right here? Oh, Rescue Deirdre. So it's the Rescue Claude mission, where it's just him and one person that was replaced by Hilda, because Hilda's on our team now. So, yeah. Until next time.
How dare you take away his #1 supporter?
Well, they gave me the option to take her. She asked to be part of the class after all. Hey, you know what? Here's the thing.
Oh, that's how it is. Oh, she asked for.
Yeah, dude. Okay. At the end of the day, she made that promise to come visit. Was it Gylith after the time skip? Okay, she could have been like, nah, Claude's more important. No, she was like, I'm obligated. I might as well go. And she stayed with us. She could have said, okay, I said hi to you guys. I'm going to go back with Claude. No, she decided to stay.
Honestly, I feel like the students that you recruited, like, you know, from the other houses, should have, like, at least stayed with, you know, their original house after the time skip, and then you reobtain them.
Yeah, that would have been good too.
As you go.
That would have been good too.
As like they're like, it's not that you're taking them into your own house, so to speak, right? Like, it's just like, no, you're just teaching them as, like, you know, as just another instructor,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been that they just full on betray their other team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, I was like, no, you take them into the house. Like, why'd you make it like that? And it's like, for a game that's about, like, oh yeah, you know, choose your path, you know, suffer the consequences of the different story options. Like, no, there's no consequences. You literally just poach everybody from the other classes as if you're a fucking karate teacher from the jiu-jitsu place.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, well, we'll get more into that next time when we go ahead and save Mr. Ditcher's butt in the next one. See you guys. Bye bye.